Hi, folks. So I wasn't going to do another one until tonight, but then, and anyone that subscribed to me is going to possibly have a lot in the notifications, but they don't always go to email, just like Messenger. Wasn't going to do another one until then, and I'm really going to try and stick with my plan. I mean, I've gotten a lot out today, um, and it's been beneficial to me, and hopefully will mean something and be helpful for you. But the the dog kind of looked up, but he's mostly being good. I saw something that kind of sent me for a bit of a um, loss for words. It all transpired when I left a message for my worker, and I was, because we're all human, even if we're life coaches and such. We're all human, and sometimes we need to we need to have people supporting us in our corner to help us get through this tough life, right? And, I was going to come and work on some art for tonight's video. Hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow night, but likely tonight. And as some of you will know, when you see if you want me to try and pinpoint, I would say it was probably the last. That one got close to 2 hours, actually. It was kind of rare that it gets quite that long. I'm going to guess probably it was around the 120, 115 mark. Really want to play it safe and make sure you see it. I would say probably the hour in mark of the previous video. I forget, it said education was the title in society. I think it was that one. I tried to stay on topic, but some other, other things kind of popped into it. And anywho, point of the matter being is that the dog's being silly, even though it doesn't treat. Is that I kind of am very thoughtful about color sometimes, so I kind of want to focus on that. And I've got about an hour, unless you get on early, but last night was because of the event that was connected to work. So, speaking of connected to work, so this particular somebody that I know that passed away hosted music nights at a few different venues, and she'd sometimes fill in for other people that did it too. And one of the venues that she did it at, one of them actually, when she passed away, I kind of looked, I didn't see anything posted by them, and that was the one I met her at. And that I know she worked for a while. I don't know if it was new ownership or if something had happened, but she did work at another one, and sometimes one other one, and actually sometimes out of the city a little bit too. And she loved it. She was good. She got to do a little bit of music. She got to be with people, her friends. She really had a good life, with great family and friends, and a job that was able to combine all of those in her love for music. She just happened to have a health condition that took her young. That was, you could say, unfair. In fact, this other girl that I met, that the same first name and similarities, had a kidney issue when she was young. She was telling us the other day, and something about this might be really specific, and I didn't quite get it, but she did say that she kind of, she's got a very unique case, and she's just a petite girl. Anyway, point of the matter is, I go to the page. I want to get this accurate. It was so ironic. I have a lot open, and it wasn't really previewing it or whatever very well, but I happened to select the right tab. It's actually the very next one now. I still don't know why I'm tempted, and apparently, no, that was April 18th. So they haven't posted anything in almost a month. That's weird. I know the ownership was a little iffy, it's true. So I don't know what inspired what, but it's kind of ironic that should be telling me who that is. That's Daryl. Who's this? I don't know. Weird. Um, yeah, I don't know why it's all in caps. I don't know if I could easily reach them to try and get footage. I don't know how important it is that I do. But I feel like it's a big part of the scene tonight. Unless I can think of another song. I feel like it's a big part of what I want to do in tonight's video. But they haven't posted their page in a month. And I know I've heard mixed things about the owners. And they might feel like they'd like to ask the family before they send something like this to me, even though there is the internet. So, and I don't know if they'd agree. So it's either going to work out tonight or it's not. But in their little intro blurb at the corner, above like, their address and the phone number for the business, it says, and maybe it's, although I see a space and a, sure, if you want to put an exclamation mark, but that space, you could look back and maybe, if they figure out how to get into it once, you think they know how to edit it again. Um, um, Hello? Okay, what's the theme? Oh, okay, thank you. We've been doing some deep stuff in the group I used to go to. And the one at the desk recognized me and knows me, sorry for the clutter, and looks so much worse on camera, I tell you. And should know that I haven't been there a while, but I don't mind getting the calls for ideas. Tomorrow they're talking about Alzheimer's essentially. It was it was it was kind of funny. It said, "What's the theme?" Because she did the main testimony about the group tomorrow, and she says, Let me just check here." And I mean, she's not the one leading it, but if she was told, she ironically forgot, and it's about like Alzheimer's type stuff. I mean, there's Kathleen. My grandpa's already passed away. Sometimes I'd like to forget things I forget, remember things I remember, but I have pretty good, powerful memory. But I don't know what was it. But point of the matter being is at the top of their page, it says, "Tell your friends and family that you love them and mean it. You never know what tomorrow will bring you." I'm really going through a couple mind battles, so to speak, lack of a different way to put it, about a couple people. One I'm more close with than the other, but they both mean something to me. But you know what? Again, in Kathy, I said it really beautifully in that email. The calls that we've had with her have been great. If there's more in the future or get to see her in the future, cool. If not, there are a few reasons why it sounds like it's for the best. I just hope the rates aren't higher if we do go out there. And this is it took a few days when the relaunch to open it. And see, when I think back about earlier today, though, and hearing about a certain someone that I know who's in the hospital right now and just had a surgery, although she made it out, I don't know if I would say that I was expecting her to sound so weak and frail. And then sometimes I think you hear things, I don't know for sure, but it's coming to mind now. But I think sometimes you can have an operation or a surgery and develop sepsis. Is that correct? I don't know what to think. I'm so mixed. But I am going to read my friend's email. I am going to play. And the only reason I went and saw that at the top of the page, and I don't know if it's about her because she passed away recently and she kind of worked there, but again, not the main place she worked, or if it's just, a thing people say because, it's true. I mean, and one thing I will say is that if it's a hard thing for you to tell people that you love them, show it. Be it. I'll never forget, I once channeled a cousin of mine, and actually fairly recently, a few months ago, I challenged him again, and he said, "You know what? I do love you guys about me and my mother." But many, many months before that, possibly the first time I'd ever challenged him, or one of the first, he said, "I can't say I love you, or I won't say I love you, but I do really care about you and your mother." And there's different reasons why it's hard sometimes. I don't know. For me, like I was kind of, it was in my upbringing, but then it faded, and it was here and there, and that um, hugging certainly wasn't something I really grew up with in my family, but I love hugs. When I can give and receive them, and usually if you're giving them, you're also receiving them. You know what I mean? But they're very healing, therapeutic, and there's actually research about it too. And with the right person and the right length, and or sometimes you just freaking need a hug, and that was very powerful in the previous messages. If you'd like to see it again, it was around that hour in mark, or just a little past that. My friend left, and then she came back for a little while. I actually, and I've experienced this occasionally, not often, but occasionally, I actually got a hug from my loved one's spirit that passed away, the angel of a loved one, and that was really nice. So yeah, but if when I think back about it, I remember how it was hard to hear her on the phone sounding the way she did. It's not going to be any easier in person, and it'll probably be harder. I said in the message to my worker, I didn't, I just had to deal with my dad passing. I didn't have to essentially see him beforehand, and I don't have to now either. You know, and I mean, sure, the mind can show you visuals. Even if you don't channel, but and even if you haven't seen something, or at least, I mean, this is the thing. Sometimes we can see something, uh, we can just envision it, or we've seen something in media or whatever, or like there was an accident a while back in front of our place, and all I heard was the noise afterwards, 50 mark, and then saw the after effect, and there was some odd details, but anyway, um, and then they didn't clean up very well, and so there was pieces kind of on the ground for a while, but I don't have to have seen it to know what we don't have to have seen or been in accidents. Although I've been in a when I was really young, we got in a little fender bender or whatever they call it. But other than that, I don't think I have. I've fallen off my bike because a car turned and didn't put on a signal or something like that once. But I maybe had some close calls, but you don't have to see it to envision it. And I'm sorry that that's deep or whatever, but yeah, so anywho, I'm gonna do some other stuff now. Um, I was just gonna keep this shorter, but it was just really interesting to see that at the top of that page. Yeah, and it's interesting. There's an image at the top of mental health group about couples counseling, but it's kind of an image, a cartoon image of hugging. Rely to protect the alcohol. It wouldn't be more like drink to protect the. I that I don't know. I'm curious about that, but anyway. I don't know what I want to do. But no, the reason I landed on that page is because when I couldn't play it via the person that posted it, and I didn't know if it's going to work with the other device tonight, but it might, I thought, I wonder if the venue has any videos of her singing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that song. I do, but you know what the thing is? Actually, I couldn't use it. I actually don't think I could use it anyway, because I'm just remembering I've tried to do some karaoke covers. There'd be both of us singing, and I don't know if that song I feel like I'd want it to be the one we do, but we'd both be singing in it, but the backing track would still be there, even if there's no vocal backing track, and YouTube doesn't like that. And it's really unfortunate in instances like this because, like, I mean, I can watch the video myself and feel the feels, you know, but it's also posting, was looking at some of them in one of the other recent videos, I forget what it was titled, didn't seem to fit the title from what I recall, but, you know, and not do it that way, but I still think it'd be a very special thing to do, maybe someday if it's, but so this art thing I want to work on, that means that now we've got to find a different song to do. So I'll be curious. I want to find something to play in the background while I'm doing this art. So I'll be curious to see kind of how it transpires. I want to really do this really quick. And we'll go from there. So I'm going to try, because life is short and I'm curious to see how it would work out. I'm going to try to do that video tonight, but no promises. No promises. I wish I could think of more songs. Actually, I have an idea. Although I don't. Yeah, I mean, heck, drinking water, facing a certain way, even if it's just for a moment, and say you're talking like this, blah blah blah. Product placement. I mean, it's not really avoidable sometimes, you know. So I did see something, and he recycled it, but maybe I think I could still get it out of the bag that's in here before it goes out there. And today's actually was the pickup day, but they weren't full, and maybe I can use that, maybe that song. Although I don't know, I feel mixed, but maybe I can use it as the art piece. Now I'm thinking, make me think it's easier, but I thought of that place like a few days ago, if not this week. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, work on some things, talk to you later. Keeping it short this time.